Alright gamers, welcome back to the stream. It has been a little bit, but it is now summer, so I'm gonna have a lot more time for this. First of all, in the last stream, we revisited the Stronghold, and I'm so glad we did, because we ended up finding a huge library, and I have more than enough books to the point where my trading hall is gonna be super easy to make. Yeah, I've got 3 stacks and a half of books, which is way more than I'll ever need for my librarians. Now that being said, I need to go ahead and start making a source of income. So my chosen villagers I like to use for that is stonemasons, specifically because I have this pickaxe here. Stone is the single most abundant block in the entire world, and being able to just trade that basically instantly, I think it's like 20 stone for a single emerald, and you can just mine an entire inventory's worth and just trade that with stonemasons. And being able to get that many emeralds that quickly is critical to being able to get maxed out armor and tools and stuff. So at the end of the last stream, I said I was just gonna kind of AFK in my house while I was next to the villager farm here, just to let some drop down here, and we actually do have 4 villagers. There's a child, but one of them has already taken a stonemason position. So even though I would love to go ahead and get mending here, I really just want to go grab, I want to get 3 more stone cutters, because at the very minimum, I would like to have, I think 4 stonemasons. If I feel I need more, I can easily make them. But let's do that first. Oh yeah, I also forgot that at the end of the last stream, one of the things I did was I found this huge cave, kind of attached to the stronghold, and it enabled me to go, get a ton of diamonds really fast. So I need to put mending on these, but I've got a new diamond helmet. I've got all diamond tools now, which is nice. And then I also need to work on farming some more XP. I'm at 27 levels. So I'll be able to probably enchant a few things throughout today's stream, but I'm gonna prioritize the villagers for now. I'm just gonna go sit these down in the bottom chamber. For the time being, we're gonna use the villager farm's output chamber as kind of a temporary trading hall. It's just, we're not gonna have enough of them to justify making like a proper trading hall for the time being. So once we get a lot more of them and it starts to get hard to manage, at that point we'll move them, but that's gonna involve either building a new structure or carving out an area somewhere, and that's just not something I'm looking to do today, especially because we really don't have a lot many. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these down. So we now have 3 stonemasons, and then that one will grow up to be a stonemason. So my goal today is going to be to max these guys out, and you start that by trading them 10 clay. Conveniently, we're right on a riverbank, and I don't think I've had to mine clay for anything yet, so this should still be full of all the clay it originally spawned with. I'd also like to get, this is going to sound kind of weird, but one of the tools I really want to get going is my shovel. And the primary reason for that is because when it has Fortune 3 on it, the chances of flint dropping from gravel, I think, is 100%. And that's important to me because I've really, on my own worlds with my friends and stuff, I really utilize the bow a lot. And that's something I haven't been able to do basically at all because of my lack of arrows. Like, I've only got 6 on me. So being able to make like 4 stacks of arrows really quickly would be very nice. I really don't need all that much because here's the thing. I only need that to get them past the first level for villagers. As soon as they're past that, I can actually start trading them stone and, you know, leveling them up even faster because clay is really not all that common of a resource. Once you drain an area of all of its clay, it's really not exactly easy to go grab a whole bunch more of it. Which is why it's okay, because it's only the first level for the villager. After that, we're immediately going to start trading as much stone as we can. I would like to get my armor a little bit more enchanted today, because We have had some shockingly close calls. Despite the fact that we do have a full set of diamond armor, it's really just not enough. And I would rather be protected than not protected. And it just feels like we've had too many close calls at this point in the series. So, you know, I really hope at the very minimum we can get like protection and like Unbreaking 3 as like a good starting point on most of the armor pieces. But sometimes the enchantment table luck is just not there. Whenever I enchant tools and armor, I always start with a level 30 enchant. Because there truly are some times where you can get like 4 or 3 kind of like good enchants on it, which makes it a really good starting point. Makes it a lot cheaper in the long run as far as XP goes to make your tools and armor and stuff. So what am I doing? Oh yeah, I need to go trade all of this clay with the 3 guys that are in here so far. This will most definitely, I mean, that's a little bit right there. I think that'll get at least 2 of them past the first level. Okay, well, okay, so yeah, there's our 20 stone unlock. And then let me hit him. So now he'll go past, I think he'll go from, to apprentice. Novice to apprentice, that's what they go to. And then he's close, so I'll need to go get a little bit more clay, but for the time being, these 2 guys are now where we need them to be. Sometimes I will trade the other stone types with them. They can have up to 2 other types of stone. It's either, they're the 1.8 stones, the diorite granite and andesite. I'd like to have one of at least all of them, but honestly, the chances of that happening are really not all that high. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do, let me just check and make sure. I just want to make sure I didn't have any clay in there. I'm gonna go get the last bit of clay that I need to get that villager upgraded. And then once I do that, today is gonna be a mix of kind of like boring pieces, but also exciting things. The thing about doing armor enchants and whatnot is it's really super tedious, and it can be a very time-consuming process, especially to get your armor exactly the way you want it. So truthfully, this is probably going to be a multi-episode long thing, but it's going to be stuff that I just kind of do on the side. But today, I'm going to focus on at least getting the primary infrastructure ready to support the rest of the process. Also, while we're doing this, the whole villager farm is going to keep doing its thing. I may go throw some extra bread up top and kind of speed up the process some, just to get it like going. Because even though we do have all 4 of the stonemason villagers we're going to need, I would like to jumpstart or get at least a little bit of a head start on having villagers ready for my librarians. The absolute first priority is going to be mending. Because again, this armor, I mean, some of these are like the lowest piece of armor here we have is at 40 durability. And I would like to not have to spend any more diamonds on creating tools and armor. If I can keep what I have already, that would be awesome. And mending is just the first step of ensuring that, you know, I don't have to keep making new armor and stuff. Okay, where's our novice guy? There he is. Cool. And then I'm gonna keep the rest of the clay for now. I could use it to level these guys up even further, but I would rather save it so when he grows up, I'll just have some ready. So, that being said, I think I'm gonna go grab some bread and throw it in the upper chamber and jumpstart the villager process. And then while that's happening, I'm gonna go start mining just mass quantities of stone. I'm gonna fill in this window eventually, but for the time being, I don't think I can bring myself enough to care. And it's kind of offering me a purpose at the moment. So let's see, I'm gonna split this bread in half. I'm gonna throw half of it in this corner. Then I'm gonna throw the other half kind of just in the middle here. All right. Prefer it if, okay, well, the nitwit picked it up. Shit. Okay, well, I'm just gonna let that happen. I'm gonna leave them to that. And I'm gonna start harvesting a whole bunch of stone. I need to like make like a big strip mine down here somewhere. Do I have... Let's see. So I've got efficiency 4 on this and I've got unbreaking 3. So mending needs to be a huge priority because this only works well as long as this pickaxe is in existence. So I need to prioritize getting efficiency 5 on this pickaxe, and I need to prioritize getting mending on it. Mending needs to go on this before any other item. I've already got 22 emeralds. I didn't even realize I collected that many, but truthfully, you can really see how much more efficient it is when it's just like the stonemasons just offer so much for so little. And it just makes, like, I've seen people use like Fletchers because you can make like mass amounts of sticks, but it takes 32 sticks to do that, which means that they run out of stock a lot quicker. I actually think I have a ton of emeralds back at the base, which is kind of weird, but this is technically a mountain biome, so it had a ton of emeralds in it before I even like was worried about it. So if I need just a few more extra when I'm kind of working on this, I can go grab those. I think I don't really have all that much inventory space right now, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill up my inventory, and then I'm going to go back up, trade what I can, and then empty out my inventory so I can come back down here. I am debating making this tunnel an early trading hall. I don't think it'll be the final trading hall, just because if I'm going to put this much effort into a hardcore world, I do think I want my builds to be kind of like aesthetically pleasing and everything. Okay, the baby grew up and we actually have another one now. So this is going to be probably our mending guy if we can make that happen quickly. So you're a novice. So I'm going to trade him the clay I got. He's going to level up to apprentice. Cool. Okay, so we've got all 4 of the stonemasons we need. And then he's going to be our first librarian, which means I need to start making lecterns too. Oh, he's going to level up. I forget what's next. Is it journeyman? Okay, and we have a granite trade now too. I grab this guy. I'm going to get him to journeyman. Let's see what we get. Another granite trade. Be something else. Okay, that didn't get us all the way there, but here's another advantage. I always forget about this. Leveling up villagers and trading with them gives you a ton of XP. Like, just a ridiculous amount. And that just put us up all the way back up to level 30. So I'm actually gonna enchant like a piece of armor or something, just because we can. I think I'll either do, so we have a good baseline here and here. I'll either enchant my boots, my leggings, or my sword. I think my sword probably has the highest chance to last until I get mending. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. Now, there's certain enchants that really make me very angry to get. And I'm not sure if this is a real mechanic or not, but it seems to be vaguely the case. Certain enchantments like Unbreaking 3, you can get them from villagers and stuff, but it seems like they take forever to get in comparison to some of the other enchants. Now, the reason I think that is because you have a much higher chance to get them from an enchantment table. And like fire aspect is another one, and flame. Those ones are really simple, but for whatever reason, it just seems like there's a much higher chance that you get them from an enchanting table than there is from villagers. So I would like to... Unbreaking 3 is super, super important. It just makes sure that I don't have to go heal my armor constantly, even though I've got mending on it. Because mending doesn't mean it's invincible. It just means that, you know, you can go and heal it. And the unbreaking piece of that slows it down by so much that you'll literally never even need to heal it. It'll just be on its own just by killing like mobs and fields and stuff. that's more than enough when you have it combined with Unbreakable 3. Efficiency 4 or 5 is also a big one. And I say that because efficiency 5 you can only get by combining 2 efficiency 4s. You can't get it on like a table or anything. Or you could actually get a villager to trade you efficiency 5 itself. But that's typically super expensive and rare. But I mean, clearly you can see that there's a pretty high chance that you get efficiency 4 from the enchantment table. So that's why getting efficiency 4 instead of 5 is acceptable, because as soon as you combine it, you know, you're going to get efficiency 5 anyway. So it's not really a huge concern of mine. The same kind of thing goes for sharpness 5. It's one of those ones where you can't get it on an enchantment table, but you can get it from villager trading or combining 2 efficiency 4s. 2 sharpness 4s. When I get efficiency 5 and I get mending on this pick, it will actually be the primary pick I use to mine. And the reason for that is because if you mine this with fortune, your inventory fills up quicker. But if you take all of your ores up and then mine it up top, then, you know, you've cleared up just enough more inventory space to the point where you might have like 1 or 2 extra open slots that you didn't have before just by keeping it in its ore form. I will say the nice thing about living on mountain bases like this is the coal amount is just so much higher. Like, I feel like I'm really far down, but I'm actually not. I'm only on like Y50. And because of that, I end up mining higher up than I usually do on like some of my other worlds. And coal is less of a problem when you live in an area such as this. And I know I've said that like a whole bunch. I said that at the beginning streams and stuff, but truthfully, not having to like scrounge for basic resources has been one of the nice things about this world. A lot of the starting materials that we need were super, super accessible. Especially like the iron, the very first episode, there was so much iron just exposed on the top of that hill. And it just made getting this whole setup done way, way easier. Okay, let's see. Upgrade you next. Oh, there's 2 babies. Okay, awesome. I think they're all... Okay, except for this guy. They should all be journeymen now. And I think it goes to expert. Yeah. Okay. Wait, are they all granite? Wait, okay, andesite from this guy. And diet. We actually got all 3 of them. That almost never happens, but that's awesome because that means I can trade diorite too, and andesite. Where was my andesite guy? Because I actually have 20 on me. Yeah, I've already got a stack of emeralds and 10 just from this one episode. I mean, I'm only 38 minutes into this stream so far. That's sick. Actually, we're at level 31. I forgot, I said I was going to enchant another item. So let me do that real quick before I do anything else. Okay, I think if it doesn't say like smite or something on the sword, I think that's what we're going to enchant. Knockback 2, that is one of the enchantments that we need and could potentially result in a sword that's pretty okay. So let's see here. Knockback 2 only? Man, I don't want to have to do that. Okay. 2 more levels. We can get back up to 2 more levels pretty easy. Lapis. Go empty out all the rest of these extra ores and stuff. I need to move these cows. I need to make like a nice barn at some point. I said I was gonna put it down here. I think I could make the whole area like really cool, like make this my whole kind of campus. But I do like the idea of all my buildings being super close together. So it makes me also think about maybe putting it like back there. I'm not sure yet, but I kind of would like to put it down there too. I think that could be a really cool area to put it. Okay. Sick. Okay, so this guy has grown up. I'm gonna go ahead and start seeing what we can get here. Okay, we are in business. And this is the part that takes forever. You can get whatever you want, but the way you do that is by breaking and placing it over and over again. A librarian only locks in his trade once you trade with him for the first time, which is why this is the way that you do it. And oh my god, there was a long time before I knew how to do that, and I just made the best armor I could. Okay, we can't skip that. That's Fortune 3. I was gonna say that mending was gonna be our biggest priority, but we can't skip up Fortune 3. That's 32 emeralds. That's I think that's a pretty okay price for it. We've got plenty of emeralds already sitting here, so I'm gonna go grab my emeralds and the books, or at least just a few of them. Yeah, I would love to lock in mending as soon as I can and prioritize that only, but if we see something that's too good to pass up, we have to stick with it. Efficiency 4, or efficiency 5, or sharpness 4 or 5 would be another example of that. Fortune 3, locked in. We've got a Fortune 3 guy. And so you can see, I break this, he stays a Fortune 3 guy. So I'm just gonna put that down there. And then I can move him eventually to a trading hall. So, I have to wait for this guy to grow up. But as soon as that happens, actually, I'm gonna move this back to the corner. As soon as that happens, I'm gonna use this next lectern for mending, hopefully, or whatever best thing I get. I might as well go put that on my pickaxe while I'm up here. It's gonna take a few levels to do that. Or do I wait for mending? Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna wait for mending, because if I combine a mending book and a fortune book, I can make that take only 2 levels. And because this has never been combined with anything else, actually it was combined with an efficiency 5. It'll like only take like 7 levels or so to get everything I need on it if I do it in that specific order. So I'm gonna wait before putting Fortune 3 on there so I can put mending on it at the same time, and then that will conserve some of the levels I've got. Now, when we really get going, as soon as I get efficiency 5 on this pickaxe here, it's going to become even easier to max out the trades on the villagers. And the reason I say that is when I meant more or less to run them out of stock. When I get everything up and running the way I need it to be, even with 4 stonemasons, I have definitely easily gotten to the point where I run them out of stock. And there will be times in which I have to pause and kind of just wait, which sucks, but by the time that happens, I will have had like enough time to wait. He's still a baby, but this guy's an adult. Wait, so this is another new baby. Okay. Get this guy past journeyman to expert, and then this guy too. I think they're all at expert now. They are. In the last stage, I forget what it's called. I think it's master. It is. Awesome. So this guy is all the way leveled as much as he could possibly be. And then the rest of them are about to be that way too. I think this will be just enough to get him there. No? Okay. That's fine. To be honest, they don't even need to be upgraded past that point. Because they don't really offer me anything else I need. They'll get there on their own anyway, just while I'm trading with them. But, okay, while we're in here, let's go ahead and see if we can get a mending villager. I know this meme will go away shortly. It's currently May of 2025, but there's a meme going around right now where people are treating job applications like it's a horror game. So this, I'm just saying that because I've been thinking about recently how in like YouTubers videos I used to watch, we need to keep that one, so we're going to. That's Unbreaking 3. That one's a bitch to get. I'm super happy with that. Hell yeah, that can go on everything. And actually, oh, I remember what I was saying. In like, I'm thinking about like classic videos, classic like Minecraft YouTube videos, where like meme context just doesn't exist anymore, or like kids today would have no idea what some like memes from that time were. They probably think it's just some weird nonsense from back then. And like me saying what the meme is right now, like preserves the fact that it was a meme. I don't know. I'm thinking about some dumb fucking shit right now. But actually making really good time through this. And I think it's because the fact that I did AFK between streams, just letting the villager farm do its thing, that's been the case. Otherwise, it would have taken a really long time to get this farm going. But because we already had some villagers in there, you know, I'm actually shocked that we have multiple master level villagers at this point. Was not expected to get to that point this quickly. Now, what I do think would be kind of cool is maybe after the dragon fight, when I make like a season 2 to this, because again, the end of this first so-called season is going to be when I kill the dragon. That's going to be it. And I am planning on doing a second season where maybe I make like a whole bunch of crazy farms or extra builds and just stuff just to do stuff and see how much longer I can go. But I think maybe it would be cool to have like a guest on after that. Like every stream post the dragon fight, maybe I have them do a guest appearance or something like that. That would be kind of a cool idea. Maybe they like spend like 1 or 2 episodes contributing their own thing to the settlement. That's actually, I'm gonna keep that in mind because maybe I'll actually do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'll fill up my inventory one more time, and then by the time I'm done with that, I imagine if I come back up, one of the 2 babies will be grown, and I can prioritize one more book. And I think that may be where I call it today after I lock in a final librarian trade, but we'll see. Okay, actually, am I right? Was one of them grown up or am I crazy? Yeah, he is. I need to make another lectern, so let me clear out my inventory by selling stuff. Sell to you. Get you all the way up to expert. Or no, master. That's right. Cool. So all of our masons are finished, which is awesome. Because now I don't need to... See, he's already out. But he is willing to give me a cheaper price on diorite, so that's pretty nice. Silk touch. Ah, crap. I hit him. He's gonna have a higher price for a while, but that's okay. I'm sorry, dude, but... that sucks. I was really hoping I wouldn't do that, but... Oh, mending. 26, that's fine. I know it's not the cheapest I've ever gotten was was a 5 emerald mending. I've never had that happen again since. It was like 2 years ago, but that's awesome. Okay, that's huge because that means I can put mending on all of these. So let me think about what I want to do here. Let me put mending on my silk touch pick. I mean, clearly I used a ton of it. And the last thing I'm going to need to do with that is I'm going to need to put efficiency 5 on it. So the next priority is going to be efficiency 4 or 5. But that tool is complete with the exception of efficiency 5. But yeah, I think I'm pretty satisfied with what we did today. So just kind of going over what we did. We got our... Silk Touch pick really did a whole number for us here. We got our 4 Master Stonemasons, and we got a sub-trade of each one of the extra stone types, which is nice. We got Fortune 3, which is huge. We got Unbreaking 3, which is also huge. And then we got Mending, which of course is the biggest possible one that we could get. So I think starting off next time, I'm probably going to try and get like efficiency 5 or 4 or something like that. Just a number of those like big name item trades. And truthfully, I may do some of that in my off time because it's an identical process to what you guys have seen me doing. It's not really worth having that in another episode. So I'll probably do a mix of some of those things off camera, get some of my trades up. But yeah, with that, I think I will call it here. Okay, well, before I go, actually, I just realized, actually, I have everything in my inventory to complete this pickaxe. So that's dumb. I don't know why I didn't do that. So I'm gonna resume recording briefly with, just to do this. Actually, no, I'm gonna do it in this order so it's cheaper. Yep, 2, put this on here. There is a completed Fortune 3 pickaxe. I don't know why it didn't like click in my brain that that was something I could do. But yeah, I will actually end it on that note.